Hello, it's Randy Rolfe from the Institute for Creative Solutions, sharing foundational concepts about vibrant health through natural living. And today I want to talk about staying young. And a lot of people around the world are actually taking injections of Botox in their faces to minimize the show of wrinkles. And it's a shame, I think, because I remember back in the 80s when they started using this. And I knew all about it because we had been canning our own vegetables. We had a garden out back when we had a place up in the Adirondacks. And we had to be extremely careful that the jars were sealed properly and that they heated long enough to kill the botulism uh, bacteria in there, the Clostridium botulinum. And botulism is deadly. It's worse than cobra poison. It's worse than tetanus. Uh, it's bad. And so what they've done is they attenuate the botulism, the botulism bacteria, and it's a neurotoxin. That's how it kills. But they use just a little bit refined, purified, and diluted, and inject it in the face so that your muscles don't contract. And what it does is it interferes with the neurotransmitter ACH, which tells muscles to contract. So you don't show your wrinkles as much when you smile or frown. And that's the idea. And it lasts 3 to 4 months. So people sometimes do it regularly. And you've probably seen Hollywood actors that have used it for decades, even. And most people don't have problems with it, supposedly, but it's very frequent to have pain and droopy eyelids and headaches and maybe flu symptoms for the first 24 hours or so. And if you have stuff that isn't properly prepared, diluted and formulated properly, it can go beyond your face and interfere with your breathing, your swallowing, and other areas. You can get paralysis. It's nothing to play with because it's a toxin, a neurotoxin. And so you just uh, don't want to go to the wrong people to get this done. And also, there have been really cases that have been reported where people were getting it done by places that weren't really licensed or were using contaminated or not properly prepared injections, and they can have very serious and permanent problems, neurological problems. So be sure if you're doing this that you go to someone who knows what they're doing. But I recommend it against it. There's lots of good reasons. First of all, it's a toxin. Why put it into your body at all and hope that it stays in the right place? Secondly, there have been some interesting psychological and brain studies that show that when you stop making expressions with your face, you actually can lack empathy and compassion as you would if you could have that response. Because when you see someone smile, you tend to smile back. Or if somebody's frowning, you have sympathy for them. So they find that the sympathy, the empathy areas of the brain don't fire the same if your muscles don't work in your face. So that sometimes subconsciously, we don't think, oh dear, this person's hurting. Yeah, we can think that by looking at them, but apparently there's a feedback where we respond by changing our face unconsciously, which then tells our brain, like, oh, we know how this person feels. So you don't want to do away with that by stopping your muscles from working. And people who've used it again and again for many years, the muscles stop working. They atrophy, just like if you don't do any exercise, your muscles atrophy and your facial muscles can atrophy. And maybe that's a good thing when you don't want to have your face moving. But I think as you get older, being expressive in your face is really a meaningful part of being a mature human being. Plus, there's so many things you can do to keep your skin healthy that don't involve injecting poisons. So, good nutrition, lots of good water, good quality fats, enough protein. And I do recommend taking collagen, especially as we age, because that is the main structural protein in our bodies. And it helps all our organs, but it especially helps the skin. And people definitely see they look a little younger when they have enough collagen in their system. And what I use is the Nikken Pink Collagen Complex. I'll put that in the description for you. I get a little commission, but that's not the point. Nikken products are amazing, and they are always top of the line in their nutritionals. So do consider, if you've ever been talked into, looking at Botox, to just check your nutrition and don't take risks with neurotoxins. There's enough contaminants that is in our air and our water and our food. We don't need to inject it. So that's all for today. Keep smiling and frowning when you need to, and stay healthy. Thanks.